Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and a reviewer who should have retired by now. You have been warned. This is Random Review.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel. Welcome back to the review stage. If you are watching this video, that means I was either a little bit busy, a little bit exhausted, or something went wrong. Because this is one of those I record it and then just kind of keep it in the back pocket in case I need it kind of videos. So that is what you are seeing today. But we're going to make it a little bit interesting because we're talking about two, as of this recording, relatively new Cyberworld toys. And what's fun about these is they answer fan demands, and it represents Cyberworld's willingness to do weird things. It's the kids line, but because the budget is so low, that does give them room to get away with whatever they want. Meaning we do get some of the originality and the adventurous nature that we're lacking in the main line. Case in point, we have a Shockwave Spinosaurus. I remember when people were going nuts about, yeah, like this should have been the seafaring beast mode that they gave Shockwave out of nowhere. But no, we have this one instead. So, the Shockwave is nicely done up in purple with a little bit of maroon sprinkled in and some white showing through, which is not your typical Shockwave color, but it's a decent little contrast going here. You can see he is decorated with a lot of little translucent elements, which we are going to remove now, so you can get a clean look at the Spinosaurus. So, for those who do not know, there is a very popular piece of fan art out there as a Shockwave, kind of like in the Beast Wars as a Spinosaur, and everyone kind of references that. So, we do have one now. And fun enough, this one is more along the lines of a more modern take on a Spinosaur. It's not the one from Jurassic Park 3. It is a belly crawler. It is, more along the lines of kind of like the river fishing dino that we kind of see today, at least modern paleontology sees today. It's not a bad look. Like, I mean, it's cool. It's different. It's hilarious to me that Cyberworld, of all places, delivers this Shockwave and a more scientifically accurate Spinosaurus at the same time. That's a little bit fun and kooky for me. Sculpt-wise, yeah, not bad. Like, the sculpt is not bad just because it is, the kids line, it is the budget line. The Spinosaur does have some nice layering to it, does have some nice details, the eyes painted in. I like showing, I like that Shockwave's tubing has worked into the actual head. That does give it a really cool look in the beast mode. I actually quite enjoy that little take on it. Everything else, I will admit, there's sculpted details here and there to kind of convey the beast mode, like this little rounded section to kind of show a little bit of the belly shape. But we will admit, this is kind of done in service of the robot mode. You see on the backside here, it's just connections and hinges. So, not a whole lot going on there. But, overall, it's kind of fun. Also, my autofocus is not autoing today. I don't know why. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that it's the kids' budget line that gets to do this. So, outside of just a jaw opening and closing, you don't really have any play value here. You do have all of the translucent bits, which have quite a few 5mm pegs and sockets all the way around, meaning that you can place these wherever you want and just come up with your own weaponized combination of things. Which, okay, so, for instance, these little pieces have claws on one end, but they have guns on the other. So if I want him to if I want to have extra guns up here toward his head, I've got 5mm ports to do that. And then I can just choose what else goes on where. We have these big fin pieces with a lot of energy going. These are pretty meanly sculpted too. I'm going to mention that as well. And then little claw pieces as well. Yeah, you got quite a bit going on here. And they do try to push the play value on these particular toys, because it will show that there is space for like one of the smaller Cyberworld figures to ride on the back. I still have my Skybite here, so like the idea would be for him to kind of ride somewhere on the back here, find accessories or find like parts that will allow him to actually like hold on. And that's kind of DIY. There's no solid instruction on how, but options are available. But let me show you guys what else he can do. So obviously in this mode, not a whole lot. So let me go ahead and remove the tail, and I have to remove the sail as well for the transformation. It's the cheap line. What do you expect? And as such, you're going to be able to tell, like, there's not a lot going on to the transformation. So we're going to just split the entire thing vertically. And I actually kind of like that as a big split. See, we'll raise the entire thing up like so. I'm going to go ahead and separate his feet and flip his robot mode feet up like so. Rotate that down so that's ready. Split this off for the robot mode. And there's, yeah, you can see a little bit of automorph when you raise it up and the arms lower down into their correct position. Go ahead and snap that close, rotate that down, and he does not have a complex transformation whatsoever. Like, it is Cyberworld. What do you expect? Now, it is the Energon Surge line, so he does have a little bit more going on besides that, which is why we can get away with a video that is just him. Originally, I was going to do this alongside the other interesting Energon Surge toy, which is Scourge. We're probably going to save him for another video, you know, just because for whatever reason, I have posted this. I don't know if it's something that needs multiple days or not. So we're just going to run with what I have. And speaking of, we are going to go ahead and post up this, because that's, for some reason, where the instructions want you to keep his dinosaur sail. I think that's a little bit silly, but hey, it's whatever. As accounted for, you know, there are pegs and 5mm ports everywhere. I kind of prefer to keep it down here, just to kind of be like a shield that goes off of his shoulder, and then you can finagle it other ways too. Like, you can put it down here for the arm if you want it to be like an arm shield down below. That's doable as well. So yeah, options, lots of them. And obviously he has this old school kind of mentality to his weapon as well, where it has a handle to hold like a gun, or if you flip it, you hold it like a sword. This is a trick I remember from Pretender Grimlock. I remember his weapon being able to do something akin to that. So yeah, look-wise, overall, yeah, like, the Shockwave is pretty strong here, but it is definitely doing some of its own things. I mean, if we take a look, like, what do you expect? The head sculpt is just spot-on Shockwave. You've got some more organic looks to his centerpiece, like the actual chest design is a lot more different. You can see the layer lines going through there. Almost looks, weirdly enough, looks almost more like an Optimus chest with 2 windows. It's not a bad look, though. Like, and then maroon going through. I don't mind. I find I don't mind adding the maroon to Shockwave, especially when we're talking about a more organic alt mode than his typical guns and cannons and tanks. Like, it actually is like, almost works the way, like, I prefer a Nemesis Prime in a Beast Wars mold if he has the tan instead of the gray, like your Universe 1.0. That's cool. That actually, like, pushes, like, the more bestial side. I think this does a good job, too. The white is coming through a little bit stark. I think I might have preferred, like, a light purple there. Just, like, a very pale, or just, like, even, like, a shade of gray that just slightly leans into purple. This is, like, I think a little bit too bright. But you know what? It makes him stand out more. I'll give him that. I mean, it is supposed to be a kid's toy. It's supposed to be a little bit bright. So, articulation-wise, there's nothing to write home about. I mean, there's ball joints in the shoulders. There's that. There's ball joints in the hips. There is the 90-degree knee bend. And that's pretty much your lot. Pretty much everything from Cyberworld is a 6-point articulation thing. It's the budget line. We're going to keep repeating that because it continues to be true. And obviously that does come with more faults if you start looking at them. Like the inside of the arms are completely hollow. Inside of the thighs are completely hollow. But that is not the point. The point is to be simple and quick and efficient for kids. The fact that it's Shockwave as a Spinosaurus is just a fun nod to the fandom and just a really popular beast mode choice for the character. So I will give them credit for doing something that's at least a novelty for us collectors, even if it's, nonsensical in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you also have things like, deficiencies like the fact that his beast legs are just hanging off here with no attempt to hide or rotate away. The upside to this is, take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ports on the legs alone. You have 2 on both arms. You have another port on the inside of the arms. You've got another point here on his right shoulder. You've got 5mm ports on 3 different sides of the sword. He's loaded. So, like, the whole point of the toy is to just come up with your own armor combinations and just, futz around and just figure out what you like going where. So, if I decide that should look like he's like Energon bursting by having these big sails up here on the shoulders, I can do that. Give him a look like his Energon is busting out of him, which is the idea of this line. I mean, it is Energon Surge, so make the Energon Surge, I guess. We can do we can do the double guns hanging off the hips. We can put them on there. So, like, he can literally shoot from the hip now. So, yeah, you got your extra guns going there. We can add the claws down here by his feet, like he's got, extra, stability going on. This is imagination play now. This is, create your own gimmickry and toy line. I'm seeing a lot more of this on the toy shelves, by the way. We talked about this with, ironically enough, Armosaur, where its little figures came with all of these, tiny little, interchangeable accessory pieces. And I've seen it now with Marvel's smaller toy lines. Like the Scorpion toy that's out right now has a sprue packed in with him that's just a bunch of modular parts you can mix and match. So we're kind of leaning toward this, we're giving you a bunch of parts and you come up with what it does kind of mentality. Which on one hand is a little bit lazy, but on the other hand, I'm not going to lie, it gives you a lot of little options. So there's also things intentionally built into this gimmick, which makes it a little bit more interesting here. So hang on, let me snap his legs so he stands up straight while I do this. So if I can very quickly remember how to arrange this. So if I take all of these pieces and I connect them like so, I put the claw here so that the extra claws on this particular part points in the same direction. If I go ahead and oh, did I put that on? Yeah, how did I put this on? Okay, quick last minute, how did I do this kind of vibe. Because, yeah, the instructions are long gone. Go ahead and do that. So all of a sudden, Shockwave has this little creature buddy that can float around him. It almost looks like a Metroid alien, which means I'm absolutely into this. So they work in little intentional creations and builds like this. So it's not just as simple as, here's a bunch of ports, go nuts. There is some intention. There is some canonical things you can do with them. And I don't mind that so much. It's a little creature that follows him around. That's kind of Shockwave's, mad scientist vibe. And then we also have the fact that the chest opens up. So if I hit that trigger there, you get the whole Energon Surge part of his name. So there is no translucent element in the back to make this light up or anything. But you open up the chest and you see this burst of Energon in the center of him. It extends out to the sides. All of this translucent plastic, by the way, is inset. None of it is actually used for anything important. You can see it attached to the hinges, but it's just there for stability. It's not actually like contributing to the gimmick. You can see that the door panels are actually doing most of that. So yeah, clear plastic used correctly. Who'd have thunk it? That said, I might be mindful of leaving these attached together for too long, lest the sockets maybe start cracking. But then again, these aren't held in particularly tight. So, no, I don't know. I'm not necessarily that concerned on that one. But yeah, that is Cyberworld's Shockwave. We finally got him as a Spinosaurus. And he's actually one of the more interesting things in the toy line so far. I mean, it's a really interesting and weird take on Transformers' resident mad scientist. And it does kind of give you this little sense of daring and this idea of, like, we can try new things, finally. It has to be in the kids' budget line, but, you know, I'll take it wherever I can get it at this point. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and hopefully schedule back to normal next time I see you. We'll figure that one out. I'll see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.